Today on Garbage Time Fantasy Football, we've got Week 5 recap. It's time for Garbage Time. Welcome into Garbage Time Fantasy Football. I am your host, Ron Seymour, joined today by the whole crew, JJ LaPlante, Joe McCann, and Ryan Warner. How you doing, boys?
Well, obviously, Ron, you're not powered up to 9,000 because this is a super show. We're not just doing reviews. It's also a waiver show because we missed Monday.
You missed Monday. I was ready to go.
And you might be too old to understand that, but that came from Super Saiyans and Dragon Ball Z. It's a little past your time, and it's getting pretty close to your bedtime, so I thought I would fill you in on what that was.
Joe is just going for the throat right off the bat.
I know, right? Like I haven't suffered enough being a Giants fan this weekend.
That's okay. We'll get into that tonight, too. And I play him this week, so I got to be a little bit more rageful at him.
Hopefully I get McCaffrey back because Saquon's down now, so I need someone.
Well, I scored 278 points in our league this week, so if anything's reminiscent of this past weekend, you're in for an ass kicking.
You'll score 80 this week.
Probably.
The law of averages.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Oh, my God, that's usually what happens. So, Ron, where can you find our show?
Right here. You're watching it.
Yeah, no shit. Where else can you find a smart ass? Or is your memory faded you there, too?
Yeah, you go to the website, www.garbagetimef.com. You go to Apple Podcasts. You go to Spotify. You go to iHeartRadio. You go to not Pandora Radio because they're stupid and slow. You go to TuneIn Radio. You go to YouTube, where you should be at right now.
Like the one you were above, I see in the corner. That's nice. Yeah. Ron's looking over at you right now. Leave comments if you have any waiver questions or reviews from this past week. And, and they disappeared. They said, F that. I don't want to watch you anymore.
I don't trust that little eyeball over there.
Anyway, Ron, why don't you give us the news drop?
No.
News updates.
All right, we're not just talking about Ron's age and Goku tonight, so let's get into the NFL news for fantasy football. So something that's kind of going under the wire today that I noticed was Dallas Goedert is on the COVID-19 list today, and that might be a decent pickup for Zach Ertz this week. Well, it might be ugly. He's been productive for fantasy football. What are your guys' thoughts for that?
Yeah, if you combine both of their numbers every week, they're a really good tight end one. So if one of them's out, maybe, it's a Thursday night game. You might be able to shoot your shot with Zach Ertz.
Yeah, it's like
Ertz playing the shitty Tampa Bay secondary. Tampa's probably going to score on him. I would assume Philly's going to be throwing a lot that game. So that is definitely a quality ad, in my opinion.
That's pretty juicy. What's your thoughts on that, Ryan?
Oh, yeah, pretty much what they said. Although my dumbass started Zach Ertz this week for a solid 1.6 points.
Well, now we know.
Goddard got COVID a week late.
Yeah, just a week late.
Well, it means you're just ready to start him now, man.
Yeah, right. And what's pretty amazing about it? So if you add both of their productions up, they're almost half as productive as Mark Andrews.
I'm pretty sure I dropped him because I'm incredibly impulsive.
Because I'm incredibly impulsive.
He jades on Monday, and that's how he decides to make his trades and remove his decision. That's how I ended up with Robert Woods on my team.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts on this before we move on to some more news?
Trade Master Joe over here.
Yeah. Would you like to elaborate on all the trades, Ron, that I told you about this morning?
I'd really not.
We know he gives off-screen incentives. He's doing something behind the scenes.
Oh, you think I'm just shoveling money around to get all these trades? Well, ask JJ. He sent me one of these trades. Ryan sent me one of these trades.
It wasn't me.
Oh, I know what you did for me, but I'm not telling.
Yeah. So this one sent me Robinson. Actually, that way. It'd be that way. Robinson for a certain Saints running back who's probably top 3 right now. Good job, JJ. I also got a Jaguars running back from the person above me, and Ron has yet to trade me anything, so that'll be down the line, I guess.
I got a whole lot of nothing on my team for you.
That's all right.
I'm still waiting for Urban Meyer to wake up and decide he hates James Robinson again.
That's okay. Carlos Hyde is expected back. He was back this week, but they're going to start playing him more. So don't worry. I'm going to pay for it this week. And then he's on bye next week, so then he'll just completely forget about him or get fired.
I did get Lamar Jackson from Ryan, though.
And me.
Yeah,
I traded Lamar Jackson. You got him from Ryan in the Dynasty League, and you got him from me in winner. I traded you Lamar Jackson for the quarterback of the 32nd ranked offense in the league.
Yeah, and then what do you know? Ryan trades him and is still winning in the Dynasty League.
I know.
For Zach Wilson in a first-round pick. All right.
Pay dividends.
We digress. So anyway, on our next little bit of news, because there's a lot to get through here too. Ron, why don't you tell us about the plethora of Giants injuries this weekend? Because there's a lot of them, and there's something we need to get into with it.
Let's see. They went in already down Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, and their left tackle. They left down Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, their left tackle, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Galladay, Daniel Jones. Who else is on the offense?
Tony got banged up. I know he's
Tony's out there throwing punches.
Yeah, he's throwing fisticuffs and putting it into people's helmets.
2 people wearing helmets, which is always the smartest thing ever.
Oddly enough, he's still on a lot of waivers though too, so he's somebody you could still pick up, even though he's going old TO over there. Pretty interesting.
Dude is going to be a beast in this league, I think.
Yeah, it's funny because 2 weeks ago you were talking mad shit about him, and now you love him.
Well, because how are you going to draft someone traded? When you could, never mind. Just keep going.
You know, Gettleman's over there, like in the office, being like, "I told you guys he was good. I told everyone he's fantastic."
That was quite the Gettleman voice, Joe.
That was very interesting, and I'm a little bit.
Can you
scared.
talk like that the whole episode?
Please don't.
You really want me to?
No, I would not be able to compose myself.
He's like, I will walk off right now.
Old lady Slug from Monsters Inc.
Yeah, that's a perfect Gettleman voice.
It's like the chocolate lady in the SpongeBob episode.
Anyway, so Ron, what is the outlook for the Giants with all of these injuries? Who's viable for fantasy with everyone being out?
Kadarius Toney.
Anyone else? Devontae Booker?
Nope.
Probably not this week.
Probably not most. Holy, Edwards back.
He's always back. He's like the new Christian.
Wide receivers are slim picking on the waiver wire of this league. There are a plethora of options, weeks 1 through 4. Are you guys seeing the same thing, or is it just my league? It's difficult. I think people have been going on the wide receivers a lot just because there's not shit for running back either. So they're just trying to get talent on their team where they can. I would look for Kadarius Toney. He could be
Emmanuel Sanders isn't bad, I don't think.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is an interesting name, too, because Quentin Cephas ended up going down. He's had 8 catches in the last 2 weeks, and he's looking to get more work, too. He's a rookie. He's inconsistent. He's a boom-bust candidate for you, but if you need that boom, potentially a good option for you, too.
Well, we'll probably think of more throughout the show.
I like Christian Kirk a little bit. I know he's so hit or miss, but he could really pay off like any week. So he's available in a lot of my leagues. So I've added him in a couple places where I've had injuries in a tough spot. So that's another guy, if he's available in your league, maybe to scout out.
All right, so our next little bit of news, now that Ron says nobody else is fantasy relevant, even Devontae Booker, who I think he will be relevant because he's kind of a weird player, but we'll get into that when we get into these games. Russell Wilson hurt his finger, and he's got a strange timeline, guys. So originally they were saying 6 to 8 weeks with the surgery, but people are optimistic he could come back in 4. I think this is similar to the injury that was coming out of Indianapolis earlier with Wentz, where they had no effing idea when they're going to get him back. I think he's going to need surgery, but the minimum, I believe, is going to be a month. But he's a tough player. It might be on the low end of that. He could be someone I think you could trade for very low and potentially help you win your league at the end. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on it.
I would wait and see if people drop him. I mean, If
It could happen.
They might try to hang on to him, but after 2 weeks or so, and they're hurting at other positions, they might have to drop him if they don't have an IR. If they have an IR, he's probably going to go on IR. So,
and Russell Wilson owners are probably a little discouraged because the Seahawks are running so much. He wasn't putting up the big numbers that.
Yeah, running so much, even with Carson out too. And speaking of that, so Carson is kind of an interesting case too because they're kind of giving you a lot of smoke as to whether he's going to be back this week. I honestly do think I'm thinking he's going to play this week. I don't know what his usage is going to be. Maybe more of a running back by committee for Seattle. But with Geno Smith back there, I don't know if you could be highly optimistic. He looked all right last week, but there's a lot of questions to be gathering this week. And you may want to look other places if you're a little bit deeper at the running back position this week.
Yeah, Steelers. They're playing the Steelers too, who are pretty good against a run. So it's a tough matchup on top of whatever the weird neck injury is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys have any other thoughts on that or no?
Nope.
All right, on to the next little bit of story too. So let's talk about some Kansas City Chiefs players too. So Tyreek Hill banged up his knee. The outlook of it yesterday was unknown. It still is going into today, but they do expect him to play this weekend. So obviously it's probably not that serious. So don't be too concerned about Tyreek Hill. Just monitor that injury. And something a little bit more alarming. Clyde Edwards-Helaire got hurt in the game on Sunday night, and he is expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks with an injury that could be very nagging in a backfield where he was already streaming down to be a running back by committee. He started off very hot in the season, and it was fading in the following weeks. So what's your guys' thoughts on this Kansas City backfield?
I think you got that mixed up.
Yeah,
so.
you got that mixed up because
he started off slow, was starting to come on, and then he got hurt.
Yeah, sorry. But are you afraid it might go back to the committee?
Well, they put him on IR today, so he's out at least 3 weeks?
Yeah,
he's out at least 3 weeks.
I was shocked that it was just a sprain because his body literally folded in half.
It looked nasty as hell watching it.
His leg was just so wadded up that he got lucky.
Folded in half like a sandwich.
He's got those Montgomery ligaments.
He does.
Gummy bear ligaments.
He's just gummy bear.
Yeah,
he's a big old gummy bear.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the Chiefs do because they've looked like garbage. So,
like our show.
Yeah, they should. I mean, I feel like they could run. They have a good line. Like, I feel like they should put more of an emphasis on the run game to try and give their defense a little break, maybe eat a little more clock. But I don't think it'll be a committee when he comes back. But it may take time for him to warm back up. So you're definitely going to be without him. I would guess 5 weeks of him being back.
Edward Davis, how dare you suggest they even sign Le'Veon Bell again? That is just blasphemy, even in the month of October. Get that evil shit out of here. They do not want him again. No. Anyway, let's get to Jacob Nixon's question, then we'll get into more news.
All right, Jacob Nixon asks, PPR, I trade Mike Evans and James Robinson, and I get Austin Eckler. This is a resounding yes from me. This is an easy yes from me.
Yes, that is. I would do that in a heartbeat for the same reason. I do not trust Urban Meyer, even though James Robinson is on my team, but that's because he is my third running back. I am willing to having him in that position. And Mike Evans is in a very high-powered offense with a lot of weapons there. As we saw, Antonio Brown feasted last week. And there's other options there too. Austin Eckler, you're going to get a lot of consistency there. So if you have a lot of depth on your team and you're looking to elevate your team, Austin Eckler is a great option right now. He has scored over 30 points in the last 2 weeks, and he is on the ascent in a very powerful Chargers offense.
Yeah, it depends what the rest of your team. It depends what the rest of your team looks like. Like if you're set at receiver and you got depth there, I would definitely pull the trigger on that because, like Joe said, it's going to be hit or miss on Evans. He's going to have a big week, and then I'll have a week where he has 2 catches for 37 yards. So Eckler is, especially this week, he's got a good matchup this week. I think he's gonna have a good week. So
I think Eckler's a very good target. I would smash accept on that trade instantly.
Ryan, did you have a thought on that? I heard you saying something.
Oh no, I would take that trade immediately. Eckler's the number 2 running back in fantasy football right now in PPR leads. I think Urban Meyer is unpredictable, so you can always wake up and decide he hates James Robinson.
That's right.
And Mike Evans, like JJ said, he's either going to boom or have real quiet weeks. So, yeah, I'll go Eckler for sure.
That's right. James Robinson might be grinding on the field 1 week and not grinding on the field another week if you kind of get the inside mantra there, Urban Meyer.
I see what you did.
All right, so anyway, on to our next little bit of news too. So Joe Burrow apparently likes getting punched in the throat during games too. Has a contusion, but he's healthy. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you have any worries about him this week?
No.
No. They already came back that everything was clear. He'll be fine.
That's all you need to know. Yeah, he'll be fine, guys. So yeah, apparently he's going Super Saiyan. And speaking of games last night, what the hell happened between the third and the fourth quarter? My ass went to bed because I was up at 4:45 and doing garbage time pumps with Ryan this morning at the gym. And then I wake up and I'm winning by 40. It was an absolute dirty game, apparently, in the fourth quarter. I wake up, Marquise Brown goes 9 for 10, 125, 2 touchdowns. And Mark Andrews, who I absolutely stole in a trade this last week, highway robbery, went for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. Absolutely nasty. Is this Ravens offense going to continue doing this? This is news. I saw this as news.
How is this news? This is game recap.
This is my segment. I don't care.
It's not really news.
Don't care. Answer.
What was the question? What happened? The Colts stopped playing defense.
Yeah, the Colts were like, we're done. Game over. All right. Half PPR 12-man, sending out Galladay, Mattison, Jared Cook, and I'm getting Mike Thomas, Gesicki, and Rojo.
Galladay, Mattison, Jared Cook. I'm getting Mike Thomas.
Ronald
Jones. Oh, Ronald Jones is a big no. He ain't going to be doing shit in that offense.
I think that Rojo kills it.
Mike Thomas is interesting because he plays probably in a week or two, but he's still probably going to be coming off that injury and not healthy yet.
He's coming off injury, and he's not going to be Drew Brees with Michael Thomas. You don't know what you're going to get yet with Jameis. That offense is so weird.
My only thing is the pieces that are being sent out. Alexander Mattison if Dalvin Cook stays healthy, Mattison has zero value. Jared Cook.
It's a big if.
I would argue against that. He's played well. I think he might start cutting into his work carry. Is he going to be fantasy relevant? No, but it might bring Dalvin Cook down a little bit. So I wouldn't say completely unrelevant.
For fantasy, will you start Alexander Mattison if Dalvin Cook is fully healthy?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay, so he's irrelevant.
But are you starting Rojo?
But I would not start.
Hell no.
If I had to start Rojo or Madison, it would be Madison. But that's a real low bar, guys.
All right, Parker. So we'll give you the answer.
I would say no on this one.
All right, next question.
Because it's hard.
We're on to the next one. We'll answer this one. Then we'll get to Sua.
Should I start Ertz over Henry?
So Chase, here's the thing. On our show, yes, we know he's Goddard, but he's called Godert because we've been mispronouncing that name for over a year. So since Godert is on the COVID list, should I start Ertz over Henry? Yes, I would.
I would say yes.
Absolutely, I would. You're not going to go wrong with this question. I think Hunter Henry could be in some work for Dallas, too. That's going to be a high-scoring game, I believe. But we'll see. So let's move on to the next question.
New England's offense.
Yes, but Ertz is the better answer, I think.
Yeah.
Bum Murray, Hill, Barkley, my whole team. Oh,
bad week. And the whole team sold me. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
The guy I'm trading has Dalvin Cook wants the handcuff. Well, make him pay for the handcuff then. Yeah, make him pay.
Price.
Yeah, you need to up that price if he wants the handcuff on you. This guy has a question. I don't know what that means. If you'd like to elaborate on what that name means, I have no damn idea. So enlighten us.
Football.
Yeah, this is the wrong football.
Yeah.
The only one out of these, I know 2 of these guys off name alone. And that's Lionel Messi and
Cristiano
Ronaldo, yeah.
Neymar, you don't know Neymar? I know Neymar.
How do you not know Neymar?
Because I don't watch.
Sorry, we're not
soccer.
We're not from Europe. We're from upstate New York. We can't help you. We'd love to help you. Join the Heckling fandom and subscribe because it'll be funny.
You want to know why? Because that's my name with an O.
Still, join the Heckling fandom because we're funny as shit on this. So anyway, into our next little bit of news too. There's still more news. So Curtis Samuel, a groin injury. Is he just absolutely useless and someone you drop right now?
Who's this?
Curtis Samuel.
Yes. Drop.
Yeah, I picked him up when he was coming back in like 2 or 3 leagues, and I'm dropping him in every single one of those leagues. So,
Christian, that's fantasy football, bud. Sometimes it doesn't go the way it should.
I love to see
especially if you listen to Ron and
Christian. Are you proud I showed up, bud?
So, all right, this is actually kind of an interesting topic. So, Christian was talking a lot of shit to JJ to me when he was drinking this past Saturday night. I'm just kidding. Christian doesn't drink. He's a perfect little angel. So, JJ, do you have any words for Christian on should he take your advice or what's going on? This guy is salty, says Edward.
Christian's always salty.
Well, Edward, we call him Angry Christian when he sends his voicemails in. If you'd like to hear them, they're in previous episodes, and they're always salty, whether we give him shitty advice or not. But he's still here listening to us, so.
He definitely has reason for
He
an
just
angry
keeps coming back
voicemail.
for more.
All right, Christian, well, maybe listen to week 2 here, a few in the comments, and maybe you'll get some little bit more help here. Guys, Juju's out for the season. Is this a hit for the Steelers' offense? Is it good for Deontay Johnson? What else is going on
It's
here?
good for Claypool and Johnson, I think.
I think Johnson will be the same, but yeah, Claypool, as soon as Juju went out, he got way more involved. Looked great. I think it definitely ups Claypool's stock.
Well, back to other football talk. The best 3 years, the best Robert Lewandowski.
I'll take your word for it.
Again, wrong football, but subscribe. We'd love to have you here. Maybe you can start playing fantasy football.
Teach us about soccer.
Yeah, not just about soccer. All right, boys. Did you have any other news, guys?
Gronk is out Thursday. Shocker to nobody.
Is anyone not out? Like, holy shit, there's so many injuries going around the league. Is there a reason for this? Or is it just another regular football season?
It's just football.
It's people
It's a
run
tough
into each
sport.
other.
All right, boys.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's these people that are physical specimens
Yes.
that can
Like
run
Saquon Barkley.
that can run very fast, and they do this repeatedly at each other
Yeah.
and just hit each other as hard as they possibly can. Injuries are going to happen.
Whoa, holy shit. Who would have thought?
Time for the recap.
No. There's still one more thing that we've missed. John Gruden. We haven't even discussed him. Is this going to affect the fantasy outlook of the Raiders?
No.
No,
The good guys are still going to be good.
They'll
The bad
figure
ones are
something
still gonna
out.
be
They're
bad.
just going to run the same exact game plan and do all that stuff. It's fine.
Yeah. Just ignore it. Let's get to recaps. And if all you were really confused,
It's so bad. It's so
I
bad.
I need
forgot-
to, Joe. You gotta let me make a new one, man.
God.
half sick.
I just don't understand why it's a scream. Like, I don't get it.
I don't know.
Because we were all, it's because when I created it, all of us were losing our fantasy football games.
Is that
And you
you,
just felt
Joe?
like
Is
screaming
that
after
you?
what? Yes, I recorded myself and put myself on it. That is totally me. That's just a
I just-
recap of what your horrible
don't
weekend was with fantasy
understand.
football every week. So that's just how we feel on the show. It's garbage time fantasy football. Just roll with it. So anyway, Ron, which games are we going to get into first?
I somehow always forget that it's just this long, drawn out scream. How do I forget? Oh,
Oh my
boy.
god.
All right. Well, let's start with the London game, I guess, since that was first.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do. The Jets and the Falcons, where the Jets were like,
Hot. Eat shit there, Ron. See? It's great.
Oh,
oh my goodness.
no. Out of left field.
This really is a
Turn
super
yours.
show. Bars in the tuck. The question is, out of left field, my league full PPR gives points for the return yards. Should I pick up Jamal Agnew since he's getting targets now, plus the Jaguars D to double up and gets a return D? Damn, this is the wrong show for you because sure as shit, we do not play special teams.
well,
JJ's a little bit deeper into this, so maybe he can answer your question because I don't got shit for you on this.
who do they play?
The Dolphins.
Yeah,
Last week.
No, who do they play in this upcoming week?
The Dolphins.
the Dolphins.
Oh, the Jaguars are playing the Dolphins?
Yes.
Yeah, in London.
It's a good matchup for the
This week.
defense. As for special teams, I don't got shit for you.
And London games are weird. I mean, and Jamal Agnew's been electric on returns. I mean, if you're deep and you absolutely need someone, it's not the worst pickup you could do because he could easily return a punt or a kick return to the house. He's been close a few times.
I don't know. That's weird. I guess I'd have to. I mean, I guess the yards are probably like.
That's the thing. The yardage, he could, even if he doesn't get one for a touchdown, I mean, he could get 50 yards. It's almost like a cheat code, like with quarterbacks, where if you get a running quarterback that gets you 50 yards, you know what I mean?
He was involved with Chark out. He got quite a few targets this week. I mean, I guess it depends who you're dropping. Like if you have like Curtis Samuel or someone like that, if you have the spot, it's worth a try. I've never been in a league where you get points for return yards. So I don't know how that would play out because I mean you could have a game where he fair catches it 3 times or lets it bounce and you get nothing out of him. So he doesn't excite me as a receiver, but yeah.
I don't think it's the worst, but
yeah, right. So all right, back across the pond. You were talking about the London game, right?
All right, yeah. The Jets.
Let me give you the synopsis of my European depression here. So the Jets started off insanely ass slow in this game. Kyle Pitts went absolutely insane, scored 26 points for fantasy, at least in our league format. Cordell Patterson has established himself as a consistent option in that offense. They seem to have figured out how the hell to use him, which is the weirdest thing in the world because he hasn't done anything in the league outside of special teams and being a gadget player. Ask JJ, he was a Bear last year, and they didn't use him correctly. Atlanta seems to have gone into that untapped potential, and he's really helping fantasy teams this year. As for any Jets, fucking suck. I hate all of them, and I'm just jaded, okay? So Crowder looks like an interesting option after the bye week. He's getting a lot of targets thrown his way. Zach Wilson is highly inconsistent, so it's just hit or miss with this offense. Zach Wilson
is literally Jay Cutler.
Brutal.
That was the first full game I watched of Zach Wilson, and he reminds me of years of watching Cutler, just a cannon of an arm that sometimes the throws are like, what the fuck are you doing? So
still with that cannon of the arm, he's still probably going to be the best.
He could be good, man. He's going to
throw a lot. He's going to throw a lot of picks, I think, though.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll let you continue your rant.
Yeah. So anyway, a little bit more into that rant too. So they're just highly inconsistent. The running game there is still running back by committee. The rookie is starting to emerge there for the Jets, although he's still splitting with Ty Johnson. So he's an interesting option going on there too. Outside of Atlanta's top 2 options there, which I just described, there's no one else there you can pick up right now. And their top 2 wide receivers are still hurt. We'll see if they play this week. But outside of that, there's really not much more to this game because it was just not a good game.
Kyle Pitts, I'd say I'd call this his breakout game. Finally.
Yeah, I really think it was his breakout game. And I'm thinking going forward, it might be a good option to play a lot of tight ends against the Jets because it looked bad. So Christian would like to say that, hey, Joe and Ron, tell me about benching Matt Ryan for Lance. Was that a great idea? I sure as shit thought it was going to be because I thought Lance was going to have his running ability, but Lance also got hurt. And in Christian, guess what? Football isn't always fucking predictive, and you're not going to win every week. So sorry about that.
I'm sorry, Christian. I feel bad for you, but
sorry, Christian. I'm still coming out the fumes of that Jets game as I was just describing. So I'll be nicer after that.
He's all hopped up, guys.
All right, what's the next game we want to talk about?
Let's get into Minnesota and Detroit. A lot closer of a game than anybody probably thought it was going to be, but kind of the outcome you would expect. Minnesota wins. Anything special come from this game?
Amon-Ra St. Brown, as I described. He's an interesting fantasy option going forward. He's starting to emerge as rookie should in offense. He was kind of getting sledded along, but now he's going to be shifted into this offense because of injuries to that wide receiving core. So he's an interesting option going forward. The Detroit Lions are a great team to play against if you're playing a defense because that offense is fucking horrible. I'm swearing a lot on tonight's show. It's great. Jaded. But I mean, not an overly exciting game. Do you guys have thoughts on this game?
One of my biggest takeaways is how far off TJ Hawkinson has fallen. So after the first 2 weeks, everyone thought he was going to have a look at the eye roll. Everyone thought he was going to be one of those top 3 guys, and all of a sudden he hasn't surpassed 41 yards or 4 catches the last 3 weeks, and he has no touchdowns.
I'm not losing faith.
All right, let's go back to the heckling fan. Go ahead, Ryan, and then we'll go into.
The Lions just have no other offense, so pretty much cover Hawkinson, and you're good.
Yeah, so maybe that'll be Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyway, we have a question that we started and didn't get back to. So Bars in the Truck had a question. I have the weirdest feeling they will eventually use him like Travis Etienne. Are you talking about DJ Moore? Hold on. I got to scroll back up.
He was talking about Jamal Agnew.
Get it together, Joe.
It's an interesting thought. Sorry, I'm still on this, okay? I'm not powered back not past 9,000 like in our thumbnail. So anyway, yeah. Hawkinson, Ryan, what the hell's going on with him?
You already said
we ever answered this one? I already said what's going on with Hawkinson.
Fine. I'll mute myself.
Too many people are pushing buttons.
The question about Henderson and Barkley, yes, bench Barkley. He's going to be out with that ankle, so play Henderson and DJ Moore for sure.
Definitely. All right. Let's move on to the next game. Any waiver wire pickups besides Amon-Ra St. Brown for Minnesota, Detroit? Nope. All right.
No.
Moving on. We got New Orleans versus Washington. New Orleans came out and decided they were going to be an offensive team again this week. It's all fun and games when you play with New Orleans people because you have no idea what's going to happen from week to week.
Yeah.
You don't know what team. Yeah, and you don't know which Jameis Winston experience you're going to get 4 touchdowns or 4 interceptions.
New Orleans won 33-22, which goes to show you how crazy football is because Washington beat the Giants. The Giants then beat New Orleans, and then New Orleans beat Washington. Fun times.
What the hell happened to the football team's defense?
I don't know. This is the second year in a row that I've called the defense, and it's just fallen flat on its face. So I'm guessing in the offseason, whatever defense I'm like really high on is the one to completely stay away from.
You need to just really stay away from that. The only consistency coming from the Saints really the last few weeks is Alvin Kamara. He's getting the workload. He was inconsistent.
It's not.
I think it is. It's not that bad.
But he had 26 carries and no targets last week, and then this week he has 8 targets. They're using them completely differently.
Yeah, but he's still bringing you fantasy value.
Fantasy.
I don't want to talk about
there's consistency and fantasy value. How they use him, absolutely not.
I can't wait for him to put Taysom Hill in. And moving on, here we go. We're gonna.
He's out, dude. He got hurt bad.
Oh, that's right. Anybody to pick up from these two teams?
Callaway might be on your waiver wire. He had a big game. Depends on if you think it'll be repeated or not. He was kind of he was kind of the hot item at the start of the season and wasn't really producing, but then had a big week this week.
I'm so over him. I don't even want to consider
the only
him.
person I trust in this offense is Alvin Kamara.
He's a boomer bust guy. He looked how he looked in the preseason in this game. He caught the long pass. He had 8 targets. He looked really good. I think the talent's there. There's like you guys have harped on. It's just so unpredictable this week or week to week with the Saints, what they're going to do and who's going to show up. So
I would rather have Hunter Renfrow. At least he's consistent.
No.
You know you're going to get the points with him. I'd rather have him than.
I'd rather have Callaway than Renfrow.
No way in hell.
All right, moving on. New England and Houston. Ryan, remember when I said that this game could be a lot closer than people are giving it credit for?
You.
I know.
I agreed with you.
I just couldn't believe when I saw this. I'm like, are you like New England was losing?
Well,
like at one point in this game.
For a lot of points in this game.
Yeah.
Just
to the Texans.
A lot of blown coverage. Chris
There's a lot of blowing.
Chris Conley just destroyed us. And he's someone I actually put down for my waiver wire. If he might be someone worth looking at. He's probably the wide receiver 2 in that offense. Depends on if you think he'll produce later on. A lot of blown coverage, and then the fumble by Damian Harris, literally on the goal line. But then my boy Matt Jones got it together. Put some points up on the board. Hunter Henry finally looks like he's getting some work. Back-to-back weeks of over 13 points. Wasn't pretty, but we got it done.
Can you pray Brandon Cooks from week to week?
Pray?
Pray if you put him into the lineup.
Can you pray? That's exactly what
Can you pray
happens.
him?
I think so. I mean, you know, Bill Belichick's going to take away your number one target, which is why Connolly had such a big game. But yeah, I think Cooks is still reliable.
Are we rushing to the waiver wire to pick up General Mills?
Absolutely not. You are not rushing to the waiver wire to pick up General Mills. You are getting nowhere near that.
Tyrod's close to coming back, too. It's going to be interesting what they do there.
Yeah, so if you're in a 2-quarterback league and suffering, it might not be a bad idea to see if Tyrod's still out there. Someone might have dropped him.
I bet you they roll with General Mills.
Oh, God, I hope not.
He actually hasn't been playing horrible.
It makes sense to roll with him. He's a
Yeah.
rookie. You got to see what you got in him.
Yeah.
And if he sucks, you get a high draft pick.
I feel so bad for Tyrod Taylor because he is not a bad quarterback, and he's just gotten thrown around the league year after year after year to be the replacement for someone else.
Yeah, but he's not a
He
good
can't stay
quarterback
healthy.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
he's a backup.
yeah.
He's
I mean,
a great
Blame
backup.
the doctor from last year as to why he can't stay healthy.
We can't go there again.
We sure can. It's a super show.
All right, Miami and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay won this game in the first quarter. That's what it felt like.
Tom throws for 5 again.
Antonio Brown went off. I'm so happy that
Me
in
too.
3 of my leagues I had him on my bench.
Yeah. Well, guess what, Ron? You get to play him this week, so enjoy that too.
You know what really makes me angry? In 2 of my leagues I have Devontae Adams, which is great, right? Monster game, beautiful. Both those leagues I was going against Antonio Brown. Like completely
Adams will
negated.
probably have 0 catches this week, to be honest.
Yeah,
he
you
playing
know
the
how that
Bears?
rolls.
Is he playing the Bears? Is that what's happening?
He might be.
Yeah. Okay.
Is
Yeah.
that
I'm
what's
sure
happening?
because the Bears are just so good at football.
They play
God.
defense. They play defense. That's
All
about
right,
all
can we
of them.
get
Myles
back to the
Gaskin,
game on
though.
hand? Let's just get back into the
Myles
game at hand.
Gaskin, freaking out of nowhere, 30 points.
I do not trust Myles Gaskin.
I don't either. That's a repertoire of that whole wide receiving core being hurt. That's why he got so many targets. I would trade him high if I could right now. Although I believe someone traded for him today, I believe.
I traded him away.
Good job.
I do though. Leonard Fournette had another solid showing. I think he's becoming a solid week-to-week starter.
I agree. He might actually be time to trust a running back, which means he'll get 0 points this week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In an Arians offense, that's definitely going to happen.
As soon as you trust him.
He'll find someone else to hate in that.
It'll be
offense.
interesting. Brady's banged up. He had his thumb all wrapped up today. So, I mean, it probably wouldn't be unwise for the Bucs to pound Fournette a little bit on Thursday night.
So Fournette's getting 0 points and Tom Brady's throwing for 7 touchdowns. Got it.
And he's
Yeah.
rushing. He's rushing for 2 touchdowns too.
Remember that for DFS.
All right, Sua's got another question. I am playing a guy with Josh Allen, Nick Chubb, Gibson, Robinson, T. Higgins, Logan Thomas. There's a lot to this question. And you already said Higgins, I believe, right? Yep. Logan Thomas is injured. Hilaire injured. Ravens, DM Butler. Do you think I will win?
Depends on who you have.
That's
Yeah.
It's not going to be a fun time.
Yeah, that's a tough go in there.
Yeah,
I don't
for your
know. It
opponent.
depends. I don't know
You're in
what
good
Robinson
shape.
is. That Allen or is that James?
You're in better shape if it's James, I think. Sorry,
Oh
JJ.
yeah. Oh, if that's Allen Robinson, that's going to be that.
You may shit on
He's
him.
got to have a game at some point.
Does he though? There's lots of wide receivers in the league that just never have games.
But he's too good.
Fournette is a high-end running back too, period. Yeah, for now.
All right. Any waiver wire pickups for Tampa Bay, Miami?
Tua's coming back this week. It looks like they just
He
designated
is.
him to return, so he'll probably be back. So 2 QB leagues. Potentially.
It'll depend on if Parker's out again. I think Preston Williams might be worth a look, but it's all going to depend on if it looks like Devontae Parker is going to play or not.
And sorry, you're too late on Jalen Waddle. He's on rosters.
Yep. All right. Moving on to one of the wildest games of the weekend: Green Bay and Cincinnati.
This was a wild-ass one, as you said.
If you started kickers in those, you definitely had a heart attack.
Yeah.
That was I literally, okay, so this is how this went for me, okay? I left with 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. All right. I went to go get pizza. I had to wait 5 minutes
Fancy.
at the store for my pizza to be done. I came back. Game was still going.
Where'd you get your pizza from?
Wild. Just fast track. Right up the road. It
Why
literally,
would you leave with 30 seconds left?
because I thought it was going into overtime and I had to go get my pizza for the Giants game.
Mason Crosby should have not even been allowed on the team's plane after that, even kicking the winning field goal. That both kickers should have had to have gotten an Uber home together. It was absolutely ridiculous how many field goals they missed. They're paid millions of dollars and they missed 5 of them in a row. Like, what was going on psychologically in their head? And what was going on with the coaching of the Bengals? They had a chance to win that game in the end, and I predicted them to win that game, and I felt pretty damn good about it going into it. It's 4th and 2 on the Packers side of the field. They could have run the ball and run the clock out and gone in overtime or get the first down and get a little bit closer. But instead, they decided to run the kicker out there. His ass misses it. And then you give Aaron Rodgers 30 seconds, which we've seen is too much time. One pass, he's in field goal range. What the F were they thinking on that? Then the kicking situation, just horrible.
Joe, but if they went for it on 4th and 2 and they ran it and they didn't
They turn over on downs and the clock runs out. What does it matter? They had no timeouts.
The clock stops when you turn over on downs.
The clock stops when you turn over on
You're
downs.
just still on their side of the field. It's still 10 yards farther back. I would have run the ball.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. It's not
DJ
even
Moore.
a question.
DJ Moore to me.
Clap nuts. At least it's not clap these nuts.
I like it. Make sure you're subscribed. All you guys listen, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that button. Got offered Dalvin Cook, AJ Brown, and Jonnu Smith for Kelsey and Jacoby.
Yes.
Yes. I'm a yes.
All of it.
Dalvin
Yeah,
Cook,
especially if
AJ
you got
Brown.
another tight end. Yeah, 100%.
I don't care if you have another tight end. Find a different one. It's fine.
Yeah.
I say no.
What?
Nope.
Well,
absolutely not.
that's your opinion.
Running backs
fine,
are
but
too
you're
valuable.
wrong.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, he's getting
Dalvin.
No. Dalvin
Just
Got
got offered
Cook
Dalvin
and
Cook,
Brown
AJ
and
Brown,
Jonnu.
and Jonnu Smith for Kelsey and
If
Jacoby.
it's the opposite way, absolutely. You're right. Damn, I can't even think tonight.
Clap
Holy
your
crap.
nuts, Joe. Jesus.
Holy crap, what is going on here today?
Yeah, 100% take that trade.
Yeah, no. If you're getting those, we do it.
There's no waiver wire pickups for Green Bay and Cincinnati. What about Aaron Rodgers' boy, Randall Cobb?
Yeah, he's a boom bust product right now. He could be on the end of your bench and put in an emergency.
I don't know. He always scores against the Bears, and he plays him next week, so he'll probably score like 3 touchdowns. He could be a good pickup
Everything's
this
got to
week.
be about the Bears with JJ.
Oh my
Ron,
god.
we just heard about your stupid fucking pizza and the Giants, all right? So
It was a very interesting story.
Guys, also go to our website, www.garbagetimeff.com, and subscribe to the Heckling Fandom. You can do that right on the side. It's like 3 questions. You'll get emails whenever we have shows, whenever we're going to do it, and stupid shit we put on there. We also have an Instagram, too, where you can leave comments and messages if you have any, or if you have any ideas for us. We love any content we can get. You can also leave voicemails, too. So if you'd rather yell at us through the voicemails, which we prefer, honestly, because it makes for funny-ass content, do it that way right on the website. It's just a bar on the side. Click on it, record something for 30 seconds. It'll be live on the show. Christian does it all the time.
All right, the next game is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. It's a pretty good game. Cortland Sutton had a game. Finally got Teddy Bridgewater back, and he looks back to form. Najee Harris had a game. Deontay, of course. Deontay didn't have the stat line would have looked a lot worse if he didn't have that 50-yard touchdown bomb, but I'll take that.
he had 2 targets. It was a really weird game for him.
Yeah. Najee, I lost what I was talking about. Najee had a good game.
Very good game.
5 targets, 5 receptions. I can't think of anybody else in here that's worth a pickup though. That's probably not
Claypool
already on a team.
had a crazy day.
I'm sure Claypool is probably mostly rostered.
It's owned. Yeah.
Yeah,
A good sign for Najee, for sure.
When does Judy come back?
Maybe this week, but it's soon. It's
Do you
probably
guys
within
think
the
that
next couple
impacts
weeks.
Sutton a lot?
That's going to dig into his targets.
Yeah.
Teddy loved Judy. In week 1, he was targeting the shit out of him. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it'll dip into his production for sure.
All right.
On Denver's side, though, this is kind of interesting. So Teddy Bridgewater comes back. Sutton is absolutely excellent again. And someone that's going to be a waiver wire pickup again. And he's picked up in only 50% of leagues. I don't understand why people don't understand. Tim Patrick is consistent and worthy of a bench spot. Why the hell is he not on more rosters, especially with Bridgewater coming back? He's someone that can be your wide receiver 3, and he's a consistent one too. So pick up Tim Patrick if you haven't yet. He's boring, but he's consistent.
Now I don't know about this.
Yeah, this is a tougher call.
His other batch is Najee.
Hold on. It's actually Delvin, A.J. Brown, and Jonnu for Swift, Kelsey, and Jacoby. AJ's coming back from injury. Jonnu. No, I'm not doing it. No, not anymore.
The Swift is like the RB3 right now, and he's like
he's up there. No, I wouldn't do it. Not with Swift in there.
Don't do it. Because if he doesn't do it, he still has Najee, Swift, and Kelsey.
Yeah,
that's
and
a pretty
Jacoby's
solid.
been playing well this year too.
Yeah.
He's not going to give you any winning weeks, but he's not going to burn you either.
When is he going to score? He's never scored a touchdown.
He's never scored a touchdown. He's got to get one eventually, right? Allen Robinson rules. He's got to have a good game eventually.
He's thrown one.
Never caught one though.
All right, next game, the Eagles in Carolina.
What the hell happened to Jalen Hurts?
Carolina should have won this game.
Hurts turned it on at the end.
What happened to Jalen Hurts is exactly what I told you. He's not a good passer.
That's not according to the week 1 video. That's a good one you can watch, Edwards. If you want to watch a good video, go watch our week 1 one.
I love how
not in the link.
I love how when Lamar Jackson came out, everyone was like, he's a running back. He's not a quarterback. And then he goes on to be super electric. Now everyone's like, I don't care if this person's a good passer. Look at him run.
Ron, first off, shut up or I'm going to put you in timeout. Jalen Hurts can still pass. That Carolina defense has been sneaky good this season. He can still pass. He's got decent weapons. So, no, he's going to be fine this season. It just was a weird game for him. I didn't like what I saw from him. That's what I'm getting at.
Top 10 QB.
Yeah.
The Panthers defense is good.
It is.
In Carolina. Yeah. It's expected. He's going to have good numbers this week, Thursday night, versus that shitty Bucs secondary. So.
Or he could die.
Or you can just shut up, Ron, and that's why I muted you.
Ron's just obsessed with Lamar, so he needs
roll Hurts out every week. He had a shitty, terrible first half with like less than 50 yards passing at halftime, and then wound up with 20 plus points because of his rushing and touchdowns. So Hurts is a week-to-week starter, 100%.
I feel Edward. I didn't know they were there either.
I put all this work into it. I even do the UFC link like you wanted, Edwards, and you don't even look to see if it's there. Thanks. God.
What was the point?
He's perfect for the heckling fandom. He just whines and complains, doesn't even look to see if we actually did the work.
So, Joe, just know that all of your hard work goes unnoticed.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Way to go, Joe.
Anyway, Ron, what did you have to say before I muted you?
I don't remember now, if I'm being honest.
You're shit-talking Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I'm done with it. The moment has passed. Any waiver wire pickups off these two teams?
No, but you can drop Robbie Anderson now. He sucks.
Yeah.
There's your waiver wire option for there. He's waiver wire fodder for you. Get him off your roster.
Next game, Tennessee and Jacksonville.
Oh, God.
Did you guys know that Derrick Henry's really good at football?
He is the Yeti for a reason, right?
I played him at DFS everywhere and was like panicked because at halftime he didn't have much at all. And then he had 100 yards and 2 more touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, it was amazing. He does so many things with the ball. I like it.
Oh my God.
We already talked about Jacksonville with Carlos Hyde going to end up eating into James Robinson's carries. He already had one like inside the 5-yard line. And they didn't do what they needed to do because it wasn't James Robinson.
That'll get you.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough here, too, and I kind of was talking about him on the waiver show last week, Dan Arnold is getting a lot of targets for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is going to be a big piece of that. Urban Meyer likes grinding his tight ends in there. Not Tim Tebow, though. And Dan Arnold is the one he seems to like. He's getting a lot of targets, and he's very fantasy relevant going forward. He's on a lot of waiver wires. You could potentially pick him up and use him if you need him in a pinch. Now the trade he's trying to get Mattison in. This is the Cook owner, right?
Yeah.
Still no.
He doesn't own Cook,
Yeah.
but the guy's trying to trade him. Cook him is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's still no. You still
It's
don't trade it
still
to him. No.
Sounds like he's desperate though. I would go up the ante
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, go find something
it.
better on his roster.
Yeah.
Jack it up.
Jack that price up.
I gotta go back up. What was the third one? Oh, Jonnu. See if does he got a better tight end on his roster? Maybe you can or another good wide receiver.
Yeah, you need
Dalvin
I feel
to.
like Johnny was like almost droppable at this point. He had 2
Yeah.
targets, and Hunter Henry's like taking over as the
Yeah.
Mac Jones
Yeah.
guy.
He is, and he's someone
Yeah, Johnny-
I actually forgot to mention for that Patriots game too. He's a decent pickup option too. He looks good.
Are you
I
guys
mentioned it. Don't worry, Joe.
the
Yeah,
guys 0
you had us.
Good old, mastermind Bill Belichick with all the smart football moves he does.
Oh no, that's
Hey, I
going
know
out there,
someone else that's
JJ.
0-5.
Yeah, me too.
Never
JJ,
heard
are
of
you
it.
trying to trade somebody?
Wait, JJ, are you 0-5 in the auction league?
Oh, he sure is. That's why he's making desperate trades now.
I've never lost that many games in a row. Fantasy.
He was our champion
Who's
last year,
having
and he
a
hasn't
hard
won a single game this year.
Still got it.
Yeah, for now. Yeah, well, you lose
and
another
he's
one.
refusing to ship it when he loses.
Yeah, he's refusing.
We just need a better
He's like,
trophy. Okay, Heckling Phantom. Is this a real
My
first place trophy? Look at this thing.
Yes.
Oh man. All right. I don't even remember
shit.
what game we just talked about, but
The Jaguars and Titans.
Yeah, we were talking about Dan Arnold.
all right. Cleveland and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Holy crap, was this a fantastic game.
Should I start Sterling Shepard or Devonta Smith? Shepard's injured.
Shepard's he may play, but Tony's kind of turned it on, and then at the same time, we're gonna have Mike Glennon starting this week, most likely. So definitely play Devonta Smith.
Yep.
Edwards, to be fair, we've never claimed that we are classy. So,
But he's saying that trophy is.
oh, yeah. Well, that's definitely classy. It's tiny. It's cute.
Fuck him. He
Is he
might
Yeah, Sterling Shepard's coming back, but
possibly.
it's not looking possibly.
I mean, I think a
I never left.
trophy is what you do.
Hilarious.
All right, let's get into the Cleveland and Chargers game here.
Oh, my God.
I'm getting attacked by a fly right now. Fucking asshole.
Oh, what do you have to say about this game? Eckler, Williams, Allen are all going to be winning options for your fantasy football team this year. Williams had fantastic value in drafts. Allen had fantastic value, and Eckler you got at the end of the first round. They're going to help win leagues this year. That offense is incredible right now. And Justin Herbert is an MVP candidate, as I claimed he was going to be. He looks absolutely fantastic, and you can go back and rewatch clips, Edward. And I have said that. I think he's an MVP candidate, and he really could win it. The trophy is classy. You guys are garbage. Excellent.
Well,
Leave it in a voicemail. We'll play it.
That's key. Consistency.
Love it.
Yeah, if you have 2 Chargers players on your team, then you're probably crushing it.
is there a donate button?
No. Yeah, just subscribe. We're not asking for any money, and leave a 5-star review.
I wish. Just don't donate it to Ron, or no one else will get
Oh
it.
my god.
Oh, no. Since
Yeah.
the heckling fandoms here, let's get into that. What's happening, JJ?
It's all right there.
Well,
Just for this.
we have the winner auction league,
right here.
and then
It's
I run
one
a
bill wrapped in
Just
paper.
for this.
I run
It's
a
one bill
dynasty
wrapped in
league
paper.
for the podcast, and Ron has like 4 of the members' money. And he has
Three.
not given it to
Three.
3.
So much better.
He has 3 league members' entry fees, and he has not paid it yet.
It's a
So
long
he's-
trip to my bank, dude.
So you want to talk about
Oh,
classy
God.
and garbage, John?
Oh, my
Wait.
God.
I'm gonna take a video of me spending that money.
Putting it on the
I
Giants
can
next
only
week.
imagine where you're going to spend it, Ron. Golden Corral.
I'm gonna go meet up with Urban Meyer.
Oh my God!
All comes back around.
Money well spent. Money well spent.
Holy crap! Anyway, what game are we talking about again?
Cleveland and Chargers.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, league winning upside with if you have any of those players, and on Cleveland side too. What the hell do you guys think about David Njoku now?
I think there's too many tight ends on that roster to be able to securely start one any week.
He's definitely a boom bust candidate.
If your starting lineup has shitty matchups or you have a bunch of bye weeks, he's just someone that you can throw in there as a flyer that could potentially go off like you did today. So it's hit or miss.
Right. All right. I mean, this was a great game, though.
1,000 combined yards.
Absolutely insane.
Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, always starting.
Baker?
No.
I agree.
They do all of it on the ground. Like, it's crazy.
230 rushing yards.
Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, even though he's had kind of a disappointing year, he's not crushing your team.
No,
so
he's consistent every week.
Yeah.
I don't hate him. He's a good, solid play in my league. He's giving you exactly what you expect out of him, which is consistency.
Jared Cook is dependent on touchdowns.
Yep. That's why I traded him.
Other than that, there's really no one you could pick up off the waiver wire in these two teams.
Nope.
Next game is the Chicago Bears, the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bears get their win. The Raiders took many L's this week.
In the emails. The floor is yours, JJ.
Justin Fields looked all right.
Yeah,
he's fine. It's just that you can't play him in fantasy. The way they're using him right now, very conservative game plans, run heavy. They're just not letting him loose, so you can't start him.
Mm-hmm.
So
a name I keep seeing pop up for the Bears is
Khalil
Herbert. Do you think he's a viable pickup? Do you think if you pick him up, you can start him?
Well, somebody made a short to pick him up last week because he's good, and now this week he's going to be one of the hottest waiver wire targets. So if you listen to us, you would have known that a week early. But
he was in on 52% of snaps for the Bears, which I'm sure JJ was very alluded to, and he liked that because Herbert looked good on the field.
He looked really good. Good vision. He looked great. The only complaint I have is he's got to finish his runs a little better, but he looked really good. He's going to be in the mix. Damian Williams isn't the workhorse that Montgomery is, so they're going to split carries. So
although it did get saved this week, he had a touchdown, so he had about 15 points of fantasy depending on your format. So he wasn't bad. I was okay starting him this week.
Yeah, he's fine to start going forward for sure, but it's going to be a split backfield.
Yep.
I think we may be split on this next question. Should I keep Ruggs on my bench or drop him? He's been a huge disappointment. I say keep him on the bench. He's a huge boom player in the right matchup. I mean, the Bears defense is very good. In any week, he could get you 5 for 100 and a touchdown. So,
speaking of 5, the undefeated 5-0 Ryan Warner has a different opinion on that. So, Ryan, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I say no way. He had his one boom week in week 2. It hasn't really been getting much. I mean, he was only targeted 3 times last week. I think there's better options out there, depending on what your waiver wire looks like. But I think some of the players that we've talked about for waiver wire pickups this week, I would take a lot of those over Henry Ruggs.
We're getting into buys now where your bench is going to be a lot more valuable and you need boom or bust here. Ruggs is one of those options where I think this would be the very, very last chance I would give him on my bench. Maybe see if he works out, maybe trade him high. But if you're desperate, cut him.
Well,
there's other options.
I wouldn't cut him. He's going to have 1,000 yards this year. He's Deshaun Jackson. There's going to be weeks where he has 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then there's going to be weeks where he needs time. It really is contingent on how the Raiders line plays. If they give Carr any time, he finds him downfield.
Another thing you got to remember is with John Gruden out, this team could change. It could change their entire philosophy. I doubt
You were
it
just
changes.
talking shit about that, both of you, like a half hour ago, and now you're bringing up that point?
I didn't
You were
talk
giving
any
me shit about that,
Gruden or the
and now
Raiders.
you bring it up. Anyway, continue with my point, Ron.
No, I'm going to go with my point where I don't foresee it changing all that much. But if these people see talent in someone, they might make it a point to get them more involved.
You got to remember Waller's performance has been down too. They've just been out of sync the past couple weeks. So I mean, with Gruden out, maybe they'll have a fresh start, and I think he'll. I mean, he's boom bust.
We'll call him.
There you go,
we'll call
Edward.
him the Febreze
You got a
boys.
2-2 split.
Fresh start.
It depends who else you have too, or who's available. So
Thanks, Edward. Now you have us all arguing. This is great. What's new?
What's new? Is there anybody worth pick up off of these two teams other than Herbert if he's still available?
Mooney might be available in some places. He's been inconsistent. Just check if he's there.
That'd be wild if he's still available.
Some leagues. I've been seeing some
no,
lower
he's definitely
percentages.
available, and people are going to drop him this week because he had less than 40 yards because they throw it 20 times a game.
All right,
So-
JJ. So if you have Mooney on the waiver wire, but you have Edward, but you have Henry Ruggs on your bench, what do you do?
They're really the same type of player. I think they
What
both.
would you do?
Well,
Yeah,
me,
we want to know what you do.
My stupid
You,
ass
JJ.
would have Mooney because I'm a homer,
There you go.
and it's
3-1,
probably the wrong
3-1
choice.
to-
So I'd probably do Ruggs.
3-1 to drop Ruggs. That's what it is.
All right,
Stupid. So
we'll move
stupid.
on. San Francisco versus Arizona. This was a crap game for fantasy.
What the hell
all
happened
around.
to Kyler Murray? I didn't even tune into this one. What happened to Kyler Murray?
They just
49ers just have kind of had his number at
Yeah.
the start of his career.
he just had a bad game. I think he bounces back and goes back to what he's been doing, which is just being dominant.
The 49ers to Murray is like the Rams to Russell Wilson. He doesn't play good against him for whatever reason.
Okay. That's fair.
Most people on these two teams that are worth owning are probably on teams. I would go look, see if Jeff Wilson is available in any of your leagues.
He's not in ours because he's on my bench.
I know.
On the IR.
But he could be a good stash on your bench
On your
because he
IR.
should be coming back in
After
a
the
couple
bye.
weeks after the bye. Yeah.
Yes, he's on PUP, so week 6 is when that's up. So yeah, he should be back. He has Shanahan's favor for sure.
All right. Are we dropping? I'm asking for a friend. Are we dropping Ayuk? Is Sermon any good?
I can't drop Ayuk any more than I've already dropped him.
Yeah. Yes.
He's already dropped. He can't be dropped any further.
I am so stubborn. I spent $26 on him and the thing, and I still haven't dropped him, and I'm not going to drop him this week just out of stubbornness.
You're
willing
too
to
invested
spend
at this
double.
point.
I'm willing to spend double on him.
I did.
Yeah.
I
That
did.
was your,
You're
that
so
was
proud
your
of
guy
himself.
that you weren't going to leave without, right? Isn't
Right,
that
That's
the
yeah.
one?
that was,
Yeah,
and he hasn't
that
done
was the guy.
shit. Thanks, Kyle
That was his
Shanahan.
secret pick.
Excellent. Yeah,
The
I
secret
look like
pick.
I look like a
Norm
genius.
was in on Ayuk.
Yeah, giving me
That
shit,
was
but I
his
still scored
classified.
up. Even with him being my secret pick, I still scored the highest in our league this week. So I don't want to hear it.
Oh my God, 1 week.
1 week.
Next
Ron,
game.
you're going to score the lowest next week, and I'm going to beat you. So what's your point?
Next game. The New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys.
Let's do it. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Ron.
Ron, tell us all about it. I hope your
Have you
pizza
ever
was good
seen-
because the game wasn't.
Have you ever seen a hearse just drive onto a field? It was crazy. The game started, and all of a sudden there was just like a hearse on the field, and the Giants players just jumped in. I was like, "Where are you going? It's football to play." They didn't care. They didn't care about my feelings. My fantasy teams. They were just like, "Nah, bro."
Analytics, Ron. What happened? Give us players' names and what your team did.
So Daniel Jones did nothing except get a concussion. Saquon Barkley decided to step on someone and roll his ankle because he's a professional athlete. Kenny Galladay, I don't know where did Ryan go?
I'm back.
He's back.
Kenny Galladay, I don't even know what happened to him. He just didn't come back after halftime. He's like, no, I want to be injured too. It looked like fun. It was not great all around.
And as a smart ass in one of our chats too, I said Mike Glennon was going to be the starting quarterback of the Giants, and lo and behold, concussion pending. He is your next week's starting quarterback if he is not out of concussion protocol. Evil, absolutely evil. I'm so sorry I put that voodoo on you.
And obviously, one of the hottest waiver wire pickups this week will be Booker for the Giants.
Him and Kadrius Toney.
I think he'll produce. At least as on Saquon's sideline. What do you guys think?
Christian's got a comment on the game and his own question. Okay, should I pick up Wilson or Michael Carter and Ron stop being a little crybaby and suck it up?
Jeff Wilson for Michael Carter. Still hard because Michael Carter's starting to get more carries, more involved in this offense, but it's a shitty offense.
Yeah, as jaded as I am on the Jets right now, they are better from last year, so I am optimistic about them. I would keep Michael Carter. He is getting more work, and you're seeing the work go up in that offense. And the offensive
Jets make no sense. I'm just going to say this, and I said it in our chat, but I'm going to say it here. Michael Carter was the third down running back for Javonte Williams at UNC. He was a dynamic pass catcher. So what do the Jets do? They run him out like a power back on first and second down. And then on third down, they bring in a power back to be the third down.
Ty Johnson.
Why?
So what you're saying is Ty Johnson should be on first and second down, and then Carter should be the passing
Ty Johnson
and third
should be on the
back.
Sideline, and the running back that you drafted pretty high should be your starter that you give the ball to.
Gotta keep them guessing, JJ.
You never know what's going to happen.
But Christian, we will try not to screw you over here, but keep Carter.
For now.
And then I think a frustrating thing on the Cowboys is, so CeeDee Lamb finally got his this week, but it kind of seems like it's either CeeDee Lamb's going to have a dud week or Amari Cooper has a dud week, and it's all about which one you get that week.
The problem with this offense is the offense is too good.
There's a lot of weapons.
Like, oh, you guys want to stop the pass? Okay, we'll just run it down your throat. We'll win that game.
And now there's some kid by the last name, is it Wilson? That's starting to play good there too.
Cedric Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, he just came out of nowhere. Didn't even hear about him for this year. A fourth option, just what they needed. Another weapon on this offense.
Yep.
And Gallup's coming back soon, I think.
He is.
Yep.
So you can say goodbye to Wilson. He'll be going back down the depth chart soon.
Well, for this year, Gallup will probably be gone next year.
Is there any waiver wire options besides the two Giants that we talked about for the Cowboys? Because I don't think so.
I don't. Everybody on the Cowboys is already owned.
Yeah, no.
Ron, who's the young backup behind Booker? I can't remember his name for the Giants.
I can't think of his name right now either. I don't think he'll be
Dude
relevant.
with dreads. Wow.
I think they'll go with Devontae Booker, and they're playing the Rams this week, so I wouldn't start Devontae Booker this week either because I don't like the matchup. I don't like the matchup for the wide receivers either.
Gary Brightwell is his name.
Brightwell.
Just keep an eye on what he does this week if they get him involved at all.
Ron, your team's going to get murdered this week.
Probably. They can't get any more murdered. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's true.
I think we have 3 active wide receivers going right now. Like, honestly. I don't want to talk about it no more. Buffalo at Kansas City.
Good game.
So Buffalo Super Bowl champions?
No.
Why? Who's gonna beat them in the Super Bowl?
Chargers are gonna get there to the Super Bowl. They're gonna beat them in the AFC Championship.
Wow. I don't hate it.
Could see it.
I like the Bills. Bills are the favorite, but it's early, and someone always gets hot going on the playoffs.
Still don't discount Kansas City too. I know they lost this game, but they will mesh. They're going to be there at the end.
We'll turn it around.
Yeah, no, don't worry about them yet either.
Again, no one really to pick up off of either of these teams. Well, that's a lie. Darrel Williams.
Yeah, that was a big ass lie. He's probably the number 1 pickup on the week because Edwards-Helaire is going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks.
Is that Mac Jones or Marvin Jones? Either way, what?
Christian,
I hope you sent the shit emoji and then said no.
Christian, I'm going to point out something on the show because we are all equal offenders on here, and you offended against us last week. You're giving us shit, but you also didn't listen when we told you to trade Gronkowski away, not to cut him. You cut him, which was very unfortunate because he's a good tight end. He instantly got picked up. So listen here closely. Do not do that trade, but it looks like you're on the right track not doing it.
All righty. And the final game of the week was the Monday night craziness of the Baltimore Ravens with the Indianapolis Colts. This game was all Colts for like 2.5 quarters. And then Lamar Jackson did the same thing he's been doing all week, which was, here, team, let me put you on my back and win this game. And what's crazy is this year, it hasn't even been his legs. Like, he has been passing the ball efficiently, making smart plays. It's just crazy.
It's been both. He's 5th in passing yards and 8th in rushing yards in the NFL, and he has more combined yards than half the NFL by himself. It's just he's the MVP right now.
Yeah, he's definitely the MVP right now. Much to Joe's dismay.
We're 5 weeks in. There's plenty of
And
time
I would like
for
to
Herbert to
issue a public apology to Lamar Jackson because I shit talked his passing ability all offseason. He looks good, and he's got Rashad Bateman coming back, another name to watch on your waiver wire.
My God, am I happy I have Mark Andrews and now Hollywood Brown for $2 from our auction league. He was a second afterthought when I added him to the roster, and it worked out fantastic for me. Very happy I got him.
Brown's been having a very good year.
He's a top 15 wide receiver in the league right now.
I am worried as to what happens if Bateman comes back. But honestly, I think if anybody suffers from Bateman coming back, it'd be more likely it'd be Mark Andrews.
Lamar just now realized he has Mark Andrews. Unreal.
Yeah. He forgot about him for a minute. He's like, oh, that's right. I like that guy.
He's like, wait, he can touch the ball?
Wait, I'm allowed to throw it to him?
Yeah, holy crap, no way.
Look how well this works.
And yes, while the Colts did collapse in that too, their running game didn't look half bad. The first play of that game was a Jonathan Taylor 70-yard touchdown, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Screen pass, though.
Yeah,
Screen pass touchdown.
Why? Listen, a little background in another one of my things. I went in down by like 47 points or 40 points or something like that. 47, and I had Jonathan Taylor going, and he ended up getting me 37. You want to know how he could have given me more? If they stopped running Marlon frickin' Mack. I swear to God.
Apparently, the Chiefs
are interested in
allegedly.
I mean,
all right,
and I said this yesterday, the Ravens need to
find a thought on that.
Mack.
After you make your point, I have a thought on the Marlon Mack thing Ryan just mentioned. So there is a comment in the shorts that I got because I made a video whether they should take Williams or the Giants backup, who is now their starter. His name's escaping me right now. Help me. Devontae Booker. I said Williams, but in the comments under it, somebody asked about Jared McKinnon, who is there with the Chiefs. Listen, McKinnon has gotten a total of 1 carry back there. They do not believe in him. They are also looking at Marlon Mack now. McKinnon is not going to do shit for the Chiefs. They're going to have a workhorse back there or potentially a committee if they bring in Marlon Mack or someone else. I do not believe they believe in McKinnon at all.
I will say this about Marlon Mack, and I don't know if it's just because the whole running game looked good, but Marlon Mack looked explosive, and he's coming off an Achilles. And you generally don't look explosive coming off an Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see more of Marlon Mack, just not on the Colts, because Jonathan Taylor has to play good for me.
That's fair. Yeah, like I said, though, there's much better options than McKinnon out there at the running back position. Like, just who we've talked about tonight. Obviously, Williams, Devontae Barker. Alex Collins might still be out there. Still watch the Seattle situation because I believe Carson will be coming back this week. Brandon Bolden is also a decent option there, too. Herbert's out there. Someone we didn't mention tonight, too, A.J. Dillon. Best game of the season. Probably not available, but could be. Just take a look. One other player, too, you didn't really touch on, Ron, for the Giants. Do you believe Evan Engram could have a big week this week? Or is he fool's gold for the offense?
here's the thing. Evan Engram should have had a big week this past week, and he didn't. He is just, I don't understand it because everything is there for him to have big weeks, and it's just never him. It's always someone else.
Right.
So it's a hard start.
And we just have a few more questions here too. Geno Smith, is he decent for 2 quarterback leagues? Someone you should even consider, or
if it's a 2 QB league, I'd put him on my bench and see what happens this week. This offense is going to run the ball a lot anyways, but he looked sharp in the work he got. But I would say bench him this week, see what you got.
Okay, and the last thing we have for waivers is defenses. So the Dolphins, I think, are a decent option this week because they're going up against Lawrence, who had 8 interceptions already for the league. I understand that they've been a little bit shoddy on defense, but they have good corners here. Do you guys think they're a good waiver wire option this week?
I mean, there's definitely worse people you could play.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as for other defenses too, the person going up against General Mills, someone who you can stream against every single week, is the Colts. So potentially look to see if the Colts are another waiver wire option. Do you guys like any other defenses?
Jets are playing.
Yeah, whoever the Jets are playing. Good thing they're on bye.
The Rams defense against the Giants, but I doubt they're available.
Yeah, they're absolutely not available. They were a top 3 defense going into fantasy, and people actually might have spent a little bit of money on them or drafted them fairly high, considering that they're a good defense. So, Ron, if we don't get any more comments, why don't you tell everyone where you can find this damn show?
All right. Well, hopefully you've been at least paying attention to the ticker on the bottom there a little bit. You can find us at our website at www.garbagetimeff.com. You can find us right here on YouTube at Garbage Time Fantasy Football. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon. Go over to Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave a 5-star review for us. Subscribe or follow, whatever they call it over there now. Spotify, make sure you follow us over there. You can check us out on iHeartRadio, Google Podcast,
TuneIn
radios. Not Pandora yet because they're slow. You can go over to our Simplecast, which is something that's on our website. You can find that there.
Yep. We also have an Instagram, Garbage Time Fantasy Football, where you can listen to small clips of all of our shows if you want to hear tidbits that we have. And now let's drop it off to Ryan because I believe he has a show too.
Yeah, you can find us over at Garbage Time MMA on Instagram. You can also find us at Garbage Time Presents the MMA podcast. We'll be doing a show tomorrow to cover these fights this upcoming weekend, and then we got a killer pay-per-view card to finish out the month. So got some good fight predictions coming up. Went 7-2 last week, so we do pretty well at picking who's going to win. So give us a listen.
He's won me some money. Believe me, you want to listen to the show. And I have the link to his UFC show in the Spotify in the description below here on YouTube. So if you want to go down there, you can do it there or right at our website, as Brian said, www.garbagetimeff.com. Before we get out of here, Christian's got one more slap at JJ. Whoever is going against Chicago is also a good defense. Oh, wait, JJ left. What a surprise. And on that note, I think we have
we're out.
alluded to everything. And Edward says, good show. And let's get out of here, I guess, right? Put the links. They're already in there. I already put them up there, Edward. So you'll see them as soon as it goes up.
Give them a click.
Give them a click.
Clicky, click, click.